This really might be my new favorite. This is where the upward compression really shines.
If it's greener on the other side, when you put me first, I know I had to make you mine.
So boom, just with that, the L2 is pretty much obsolete now. Hey yo, I never thought I'd go back to a Waves limiter, but the brand new Waves L4 just might change that. All right, quick history lesson. In the early 2000s, if you were mixing or mastering a record, the chances were pretty good that you ended the chain with the Waves L1 or L2. My OGs swore by the L2. These limiters literally defined the sound of entire eras of hip hop, pop, and rock. Engineers would just literally push their mixes into them for that final punch and loudness. And nowadays, when most people think of a limiter, some of them still think L2. But music today isn't built like it was back then. We've got more beefy low end, more transient snap, and artists that want their mixes to feel alive, not just loud. So a limiter that only focuses on maximum loudness ain't gonna cut it, man. Waves understands this, and they built the L4 Ultramaximizer from the ground up. It's not just an update, it's a completely new plugin that reacts to the music in real time, analyzing transient density, crest factor, and more to give you loudness and keep your dynamics. L4 keeps that simplicity that you know and love from the L2. If you want just the threshold and the ceiling, you got it, keep it simple. But it also adds some real serious modern power. Check this out. 4 redesigned limited modes: modern, aggressive, smooth, safe, plus a legacy L2 mode if you need that classic sound. Upward compression that literally raises the quiet details so you can get a denser, more exciting mix without pushing the peaks. Built-in LUFS metering and true peak protection for streaming, and adaptive clipping and release that shape themselves to the song. It doesn't matter if you're chasing a big club energy or a delicate dynamic vibe. L4 is built for how music sounds today. That's why I'm so excited to throw it on 2 totally different tracks and see if it really can become my new favorite limiter. All right, y'all, let's get a first look at the Waves L4 Ultramaximizer. I'm gonna play this song first that I actually started with just the L2 on the master bus. Now, yes, I am using my Apple AirPods Pro 3 to actually mix this song straight out of Pro Tools. Yes, you can do that. If you want a full tutorial on how and why you might want to use the AirPod Pros to mix, let me know and I'll make a video for it. Leave it in the comments if you want that video. All right, so now let's just take a listen to this real quick. We'll listen to the short verse and some of the hook, and all I'm doing on the mix bus here is just the L2 Ultramaximizer.
Hey, I know better, I ain't got time, give me space, let me grind. Is it cake, is it pie, it's enough to divide. You get yours, I get mine, no lies cross, no collide. Spread my seed and multiply, I know I'm never gonna die. I just
Keep learning how to let it go. Take the highs and the rides.
All right. So in that song, we can see how important that kick and bass are. They really are driving that song. Now, I started off using the L2 because that's just what a L do. That's what Wavy does. But let's go to the Ultra Maximizer, man. This L4, we're going to bypass that one for now. You see I've been messing around with some stuff. We're going to go ahead and get back to a full reset. Now, this layout is so simple, just like you would expect, right? Threshold, ceiling, we got our metering over here, which is really dope. They have a release and clip control over here that actually both are gonna already be dependent on the material. So this Ultra Maximizer, the L4, is actually reacting to the input signal. So you ain't really gotta do a whole bunch there. It's gonna automatically just react to whatever it is that you're doing. So the first thing I would probably do here is just start bringing my threshold down and seeing where we're at.
Hey, I know better, I ain't got time, give me space, let me grind. Is it cake, is it pie, it's enough to divide. You get yours, I get mine, no lies cross, no.
One of my favorite features is using this here graph mode. So this is pretty dope where you can actually see where the attenuation is happening. And it's all color coded. The dark blue is what's being outputted. The light blue here is the input signal.
I get mine, no lies cross, no collide. Spread my seed and multiply. I know I'm never gonna die. just
Keep learning how to let it go.
So look, let me just see something. I'm gonna open up my L2 real quick and let's just compare what's happening so far. All right, we're gonna bypass this one and bypass that one.
Hey, I know better, I ain't got time, give me space, let me grind. Is it cake, is it pie, it's enough to divide, you get yours, I get
Without any
mine.
limiting.
No lies cross, no collide, spread my seed and multiply. I know I'm never gonna die, I just
And it's crazy how I got to about the same exact threshold. I didn't even look at it, the older one, to know where it was at. But yeah, with about the same threshold, you see we got two different sounds happening just because the L4 is treating and processing the mix so much differently. Let's hear it again.
Hey, I know better, I ain't got time, give me space, let me grind. Is it cake, is it pie, it's enough to divide, you get yours, I get mine. No lies cross, no
Right? The L2 is making the mix feel like closed in, right? To where the L4 with the same settings, except we're in the modern mode, is opened up. But look, this new L4 doesn't just have that modern mode. It also has a smooth mode. So if you're working on something a little bit smoother, you have that. Aggressive, obviously, you know what that's going to do. I like safe. Safe is going to be good for like broadcast applications and anytime that you want to kind of really push the limiter and reduce the artifacts. But remember, using a limiter, there's always going to be a trade-off between distortion, clipping, artifacts, and loudness. So you're going to have to make the decision on which point is going to be too much. Like, when is it too much clipping? When is it too much distortion? And when is it enough loudness that you can actually live with? Let's actually jump into L2 mode just for the heck of it and compare and see if they really are identical. The other thing that I might want to do here is actually go over and set that ceiling. I got my ceiling set to -1 for some reason. We're just going to do the same thing here.
Hey, I know better, I ain't got time, give me
So this
space,
is the
let me
L4 we're listening
grind.
to.
Is it cake, is it pie, it's enough to divide, you get yours, I get mine. No lies cross, no collides.
So boom, just with that, the L2 is pretty much obsolete now. You don't really need that L2. If you want the L2 sound, you can just switch to L2 mode in the L4 and rock with that. But I'm already liking the modern sound a whole lot better, and that is what I'm gonna go with.
Hey, I know better, I ain't got time, give me space, let me grind. Is it cake, is it pie, it's enough.
So in order to critically listen, you have to have some of these features that Waves has introduced into the L4 that are not in the L2, like gain match. That's so important when you are limiting, because as you start limiting, you're going to hear the sound get louder. Hearing stuff louder instantly makes our ears think that it sounds better, and we're less capable of making good decisions just based on the sonics and not the loudness, right? So as soon as you open up a limiter, if it has a gain match control, turn it on. And if it don't, pick another limiter. All right. So we want to automatically gain match because we don't want to just be hearing it get louder. We want to hear any artifacts or anything that's being introduced so that we can make the best decisions.
Hey, I know better, I ain't got time, give me space, let me grind. Is
This
it
way,
cake,
when I
is
bypass
it
back and
pie,
forth,
it's enough to divide, you get
if I
yours,
really
get
squash it.
mine. No lies cross, no collide, spread my seed and multiply. I know I'm never gonna die, I just
Yo, that's crazy. I just put 12 dB a limiting on here, right? And it still sounds pretty clean.
Hey, I know better, I ain't got time, give me space, let me grind. Is it cake, is it pie, it's enough to divide, you get yours, I get mine. No lies cross, no collide, spread my seed and multiply.
That's crazy that it's still holding together, man. The Delta mode actually let us hear exactly what's being changed from the unlimited version to the limiter. Let's hear what's happening in Delta mode. So you can hear that really it's just those kicks getting knocked down. A little distortion is being introduced, but I think that actually works okay for this song.
Keep learning.
Watch your ears real quick. Let's hear it.
Hey, I know better, I ain't got time, give me space, let me grind. Is it cake, is it pie, it's enough to divide, you get yours, I get mine. No lies cross, no collide, spread my seed.
And at this point, this is where I might want to have like a faster release, right? Especially if I'm doing this amount of limiting.
Hey, I know better, I ain't got time, give me space, let me grind. Is it cake, is it pie, it's enough to divide. You get yours.
That's just really gonna help keep everything snappy.
Spread my seed and multiply. I know I'm never gonna die.
And you can see my meters. I love having this meter right here. You can see that I'm hitting at about -7 LUFS. That's actually kind of crazy.
Hey.
Now, another thing before we move on, they also have the stereo link feature. Again, all of these features that just weren't in the L2. This is the modern way that we are going to limit now. Stereo link just basically says, hey, do you want to limit and do everything to the left side the same as the right side? If you do, keep it at 100%. If not, you want to keep stereo independence, then you can back this off to 0 or find somewhere in the middle. Every song is a little bit different. For the most part, though, I like to have it on 0. I don't know. That's just my preference.
Hey, I know better. I ain't got time. Give me space. Let me grind. Is it cake? Is it pie? It's enough to divide. You get
I
yours.
don't know, but it seems like it works. It sounds better with 100%.
Hey, I know better. I ain't got time. Give me space. Let me grind. Is it cake? Is it pie? It's enough to divide. You get yours. I get mine. No lights cross. No collide. Spread my seed and multiply. I know I'm never gonna die. I just
Keep learning how to let it go. Take the highs and ride the lows. Plant my seeds and watch it grow. I conquer the impossible.
hey.
Keep learning how to let it go.
Do a little fine tuning.
Take the highs and ride the lows. Plant my seeds and watch it grow. I conquer the impossible.
I know better. I ain't got time. Give me space. Let me grind.
All right, just out of curiosity, let's see what happens if I go back to the L2 and I hit the same threshold.
Keep learning how to let it go. Take the highs and ride the lows. Plant my seeds and watch it grow. I conquer the impossible. Keep learning how to let it go. Take the highs and ride the lows.
All right, now I'm going to show y'all a trick that I pretty much do all the time, and that is to go to the vocals and actually add limiters on my vocals. So adding a limiter often will be the final step on a lot of vocals that I do, and it really helps them just cut through no matter what's happening in the mix.
I know better. I ain't got time. Give me space. Let
I
me
even use
grind.
aggressive
Is it
mode.
cake? Is it pie? It's enough to divide. You get yours. I get mine. No lights cross. No collide. Spread my seed and multiply. I know
Without it,
I know better. I ain't got time. Give me space. Let me grind. Is it cake? Is it pie? It's enough to divide.
This
You get
might
yours.
be-
I get mine.
this
No
really
lights
might
cross.
be my
No
new
collide.
favorite.
Spread my seed and multiply. I know I'm never gonna die.
one new feature that I'm super excited about is this upward compression. Now, this is, you might be thinking like, yo, this is the same as parallel compression, but it's actually different because it works dynamically according to the input signal. What this is going to do is literally bring up the softer sounds. This is going to be really good in like verses or intros and outros, bridges, stuff like that, where the music is like less dense, and typically the limiters just can't make that part as loud as everything else unless you like squash the hell out of the whole mix. Using upward compression really helps to change that. I'm gonna go to another session real quick because I want to show y'all how the upward compression can really work to bring out intros and softer sections of a song. All right, so here we are with another song, a softer song, something a little more subtle that needs a little attention, especially in this intro area. Let's listen to it real quick as we go from the intro into the full music.
When you put me first, I know I had to make you mine. Didn't think that I would flourish cause of other guys. Then the garden in me grows, and we flow like an island.
All right, now I can start, I'm gonna bring my ceiling down a little bit. I'm gonna start limiting the loud part like I normally would. Right, but that doesn't do much for this intro.
Had to make you mine. Didn't think that I would flourish cause of other guys. Then the garden in me grows.
Right, so let's make that intro more powerful. This is where the upward compression really shines. Let's just listen. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Let's hear.
If it's greener on the other side, when you put me
Let's go over to the graph so we can see what's happening. See, this orange down at the bottom represents how we're pushing all that quiet stuff up.
Didn't think that I would flourish 'cause I'm other guys. Then the garden in me grows.
All right, and now this is where that magic comes. You see the upward compression, it isn't ticking as much. And that beginning part just came alive.
If it's greener on the other side, when you put me first, I know I had to make you mine.
Without it,
Didn't think that I would flourish 'cause I'm other guys. Then the garden in me grows. And we flow like an island in a cove. And I'll never, never, never let you go.
still got the punchiness, still got the low end.
Never let you go.
Let's go to L2 for the heck of
And
it.
even in the stormy clouds of rain,
L2 sounds good though.
I love the pitter patter, I'm insane. Lay your hand on my chest so we could float away.
That sounds good.
Like a perfect oasis that you made for me.
And again, sections like this where the music is more sparse,
Butterflies in May. Never would question you would stay.
that upward compression is really shining.
Garden in me grows.
Just helping to keep the energy of the full mix all the way up, man. Now, of course, we also have some advanced features here at the top. We can A/B different settings on here if we need to. You can go set up A, set up B, and easily swap between them. That's going to be great for making sure that, you know, you're making the changes that you want to make. But some of my favorite settings, of course, oversampling. I'm going to always use oversampling on the final master. Now, of course, this is going to use more CPU power, but it's just going to be cleaner. It's going to sound better. It's going to give you more detail when you oversample. Now, this plugin does oversample internally and then backs it back down for the session sample rate. You also got true peak limiting if you want to use that to make sure that all your peaks are intact for streaming. And of course, Dither, right? You need that Dither, man. All right. After running the L4 on both a hard-hitting hip-hop banger and a soft pop R&B song, here's where I'm at. This might be my new favorite limiter. On the heavy track, that punch was undeniable. Modern mode gave me loudness and transient snap, and aggressive mode took it even further without caving the mix in. You know how limiters can do. Even when I use it on vocals, the details stayed intact and it helped make them vocals real big. On the softer song, upward compression was a star. It filled the verses and intros so that they felt bigger and more present without me having to smash the entire mix. I also love that I can flip between graph and classic views, match the gain, and hear exactly what's changing with the delta button. All of that makes critical listening faster and more accurate. The best part may be that I can still use that classic L2 mode if I want that early 2000s flavor, but for most modern mixes, the L4 feels smarter and more musical. Try the Waves L4 for yourself and let me know, is this the best new modern limiter? And remember, it's not just for mastering. Throw it on the drum bus to tighten up the low end, throw it on instrumentals to glue them together, or use it on vocals and really make them shine, all right? I'm Wavy Wayne from WavyProAudio.com. Let me know what you think of the brand new Waves L4 Ultramaximizer. Drop it in the comments. Make sure you hit a like if you like this video and subscribe for more.